My girlfriend Ella had never seen a shooting star, and I was pretty excited to show her some. But unfortunately, the night I tried, stars were not the only thing shooting. The Perseids meteor shower is visible every August, but when you live in a suburb full of light pollution, it's harder to see. So we decided to drive out to the sticks for a darker sky. At midnight, it would only take about an hour. Bad choice number 1. Bad choice number 2, stopping because of Ella's sweet tooth. Why is a store a mile farther away than the middle of nowhere open at this hour?
For truckers and first-time stargazers who desperately need candy.
Only 2 vehicles were in the parking lot. Neither were trucks. One of them had a bumper sticker reading, "World's Best Grandma." The world's best grandma is up way past her bedtime. Ella laughed and hopped out of the car.
Want anything?
Yes, to keep going. We're almost there.
I need a sugar rush to stay awake.
The pleasure of my company should be all the sugar rush you need.
Almost. Be right back. If you change your mind about a snack, call me.
I glanced at my phone. No service. I glanced at the sky. No shooting stars. Obviously, the store was lit, but the surrounding area was almost pitch black. A few minutes passed and Ella didn't come out. Neither did the world's best grandma. So I went in. The door chimed. The store was small enough that I could see the whole thing from the entrance. Ella was not there. Neither was the world's best grandma. The cashier had a stool behind the counter but wasn't sitting in it. His hair looked a bit greasy and his eyes a bit beady. No surprise, he was working the late shift in no man's land. Not usually when people look their best. My girlfriend just came in here, but
Probably in the bathroom?
that was odd. If I was working alone in a remote store, I'd be hyper aware of who came in or out. I went to the back and knocked on the door to the women's restroom. Ella? No answer. I looked back to the cashier, who looked away before our eyes met. I knocked again and then cracked open the bathroom door. I realized the world's best grandma might also be in there, but I had no choice. Anyone in here? I heard the chime of the door again. I turned to see the cashier was outside. He came back in a moment later.
She just left in a hurry. I went out to tell her you were in the back looking for her.
This was getting creepier. How could Ella not have seen me? Why wouldn't the cashier just tell her I was inside before she went out? But she was out, and I wanted out, so I went out. On the way, I spotted something on the counter that I hadn't noticed before. A chunky bar? Ella's favorite candy. And no one else's. Raisins and chocolate. No thanks. She had gone to pay for it. Then something happened. I bolted to my car, but she wasn't there. Ella? Ella! I scanned the area. The emptiness just beyond the store was suddenly way more sinister. Ella wasn't the type to play a practical joke, especially not in a place like that. I speed walked around the parking lot, trying to pick up a signal, but the whole area was a dead zone. As soon as I thought the words, I wished I hadn't. Headlights appeared in the distance. I dashed to the edge of the road, turned on my phone's flashlight, and tried to flag down the car. It kept going. I think it even sped up. I wasn't the scary one. I noticed that the other car in the lot also had a bumper sticker. My child is an honor student at Harmon Middle School. Wait a second. That cashier's not old enough to have a middle schooler. And he's definitely not the world's best grandma. What is going on? Another car approached and I frantically waved my arms again. It too did not stop. Oh man, what is going on? No one answered, of course. I checked my trunk. Nothing in there but a few reusable shopping bags and an umbrella. The long kind, with the point at the end. Better than nothing. I grabbed it and went back inside, trying not to shake. The cashier was not at the counter, but probably heard the chime and came out from what I assume was the store office. I tried to discreetly steal a glimpse at what was in there, but he closed the door quickly.
Find her?
Obviously not.
It's not raining.
Still at the entrance, I raised the umbrella, pointing it at him. Look, I called the police. They'll be here any minute. Where is my girlfriend?
Buddy, I already told you she left.
I don't believe you.
Then we're even, because I don't believe you called the police. In fact, I know you didn't because no one gets service here.
Headlights swept across the parking lot. A trucker. I backed out of the store and ran to the big rig. Sir, I need help. My girlfriend went into the store and didn't come out. The cashier is super sus. The trucker looked at me like I was pranking him.
Not in the mood. Long night ahead of me.
The cashier greeted him. When he went to the coolers, the cashier glared at me. The trucker got an energy drink, a bag of chips, and for some reason, bug spray, then went to pay. I gestured to the cashier. Have you been here before? Do you know this guy?
As much as I know you,
The trucker strode out and I followed him.
the only one acting weird is you, kid.
Please, something happened to my girlfriend. I don't get cell service here. You still have a CB or whatever, right? Can you please call the police? Please! The trucker finally sensed that my desperation was genuine.
Okay, you better not be messing with me.
He climbed into the cab of his 18-wheeler and spoke into the CB. I couldn't hear what he said. He started the truck and rolled down the window.
Cops will be here in 20 minutes.
20 minutes? That's too long!
Best they can do.
Will you please wait till they come?
Sorry, I'm on the clock. Good luck. Hope she's okay.
I couldn't believe he would just leave, but not everyone is a hero. I also couldn't believe that another car pulled in a moment after the trucker was out of view. And I definitely couldn't believe that it was a kid from my school. Not a kid I knew well. Not to sound like a jerk, but I am kind of popular. And Josh isn't. But in that moment, he was my favorite person in the world. Josh!
Garrett, what are you doing here?
Do you have service?
Nope, just GPS. What's with the umbrella?
Dude, this is going to sound crazy, but I need your help. Ella and I came out to see the meteor shower.
Same.
But she went in there like 10 minutes ago and hasn't come out. I think the cashier has her in the back. Josh looked intently at me. I swear, I'm not kidding. I would not joke about something like this. I need to get into the little office behind the counter. Can you please help me?
I'm just grabbing a soda.
Police are on the way, but I can't wait. I'll buy you a soda. I'll buy you a soda every day of the school year. Please? Josh shook his head. I understood how insane I sounded.
You never talked to me in school. Now you want me to just trust like...
Sorry if I was ever a jerk to you, but this is serious. Josh sighed.
What's your plan?
I explained my totally random idea to him and somehow got him to go along with it. I went in first, still holding the umbrella. Again, the cashier was not in sight at first. And again, he then slithered out from the back room.
If you are not going to buy anything, you have to leave.
I'm buying something. I got a soda and another Chunky. I put them on the counter next to Ella's Chunky. At the same time, Josh came in and tried to size up the cashier without being obvious about it. I thought I saw the cashier's expression change, almost like he was onto us. Josh meandered through an aisle, absentmindedly picking up a canister. The cashier returned his attention to me. Oh, there's already a Chunky on the counter. What a coincidence. How dumb did that sound? I felt that Josh had gotten in line behind me, according to plan. I hoped he'd followed through. I fished in my pocket for my phone to pay, but instead, whipped up the umbrella and snapped it open in the cashier's face.
What the?
He reached for something. Jeez, I hated being right. It was a handgun. I stepped to the side and Josh helped up the canister. As soon as I closed the umbrella, he sprayed a strong stream of Hornet Killer into the cashier's face. Both Josh and the cashier screamed. The cashier managed to fire off a single shot. A bullet hit the front window, which shattered. I swatted at him with the umbrella and managed to knock the gun out of his hand. He stumbled backwards, backing into a display of medications. He rubbed his eyes wildly and groaned.
You punks!
While he was temporarily, or permanently, I have no idea, blinded, I hopped over the counter, I opened the section of the counter that folded up, and kicked the gun into the store. It spiraled down an aisle, then I rushed into the office. Ella! She was tied to a chair and gagged. So was an older woman who was wearing a badge that read Tess. She was the real cashier.
Hurry!
I untied Ella, who hugged me, then untied Tess as I kept watch. The cashier had rushed to a sink near the hot foods and was splashing water on his eyes.
Thank God you found us, Garrett.
Tess looked terrified, yet deeply relieved. Besides a quivering thank you, she could barely speak. We've got to get out of here. The three of us scrambled out of the office and into the parking lot.
He aimed a gun at me and forced me into that room. She was already in there. I was so scared.
Cops are coming. Tess ran to her car. To my surprise, she was not the world's best grandma, but rather the honor student's parent. She thanked me again, then peeled out like a professional race car driver. As Josh drove by Ella and me, he rolled down his window. "I owe you for life."
No, just the sodas you promised.
He sped off. A police car pulled in as the cashier ran out, still rubbing his eyes. He was rambling about attacking him. He had a gun, but he wasn't holding it. 2 officers subdued him and cuffed him fairly easily. Given he was still incapacitated by the insecticide, they put him in the back of their car. They thanked us and explained that it's not uncommon for someone to hold up a remote store like that because it can take the police a while to get there. Turns out the world's best grandma car was the robber's. Well, he stole it. One officer questioned Ella while the other let me quickly buy something while she checked out the crime scene. I left a couple of bucks on the counter. Then the officers locked the store, even though the window was now open. They told us to get home safe. Then they left. Ella and I were alone again. I'm so sorry,
What are you talking about? And was that Josh? Saved us. I owe you for life.
You and your sweet tooth.
You and your shooting stars.
At that moment, we saw a streak crossing the sky. I revealed that I had just purchased a candy bar more fitting for the occasion and less disgusting than Chunky. Milky Way.